Alright, cut down the fanfare because this is the last update of the shitty Castle Trifecta. Doublecross, let's go like the speed or the wind. The sooner we'll be done with this, the faster we'll be back to levels that don't suck. Basically, the level Doublecross will pretty much implicate dualities, dual personalities trying to compete for each other. Because one side of this castle is a very nice fairy that just wants to play with you and grant you wishes, and the other one is the same fairy, waiting for you at her doorstep with a gun, wanting to shoot you and finally jump kick you in the face. Yup, this is what Doublecross is all about. It's about making you feel so great and then out of a sudden just decide to completely ruin your day by making the entire level suddenly go to shit. And this is such a shame because if it wasn't for one slight thing in this level, I really would not hesitate to call this my favorite level of the entire game, but alas, it has not been the case. It has not been the case. And we will see why later, because, well, I don't wish to spoil you the surprise. You're gonna see why I really despise this level, even though it seems so promising. For instance, there's a shitload of ambushes. Oh, you really need to know this is incoming, otherwise you die, and you really need to move to the blue teleporter thing, because otherwise you're not going to be able to reach the room. The blue transporter will bring us to this blue room. A blue room filled with our brain-dead cousin that have a trick. Basically, well, this one trapdoor didn't seem to do anything in particular in order to impede your progress later, considering that, well, you can just go around and turn it off whenever our good old buddy Frankenstein will be out of the picture, but yep, I would like to see you try that again if you decided to let the Frankenstein flip the switch on for you, and well, good luck trying to make it back there with the trapdoor blocking your way. But since we were careful, we just earned an invitation to send the Frankenstein to a barbecue. Hey how! Welcome to my barbecue! Oh god. Yeah. Our main character into this level, into this game, has really wild abilities. The first one being able to wear a pink shirt in public and not being ashamed of this, and well, the other one is to have a really shitty Western accent. This is the huge personification that this game has. I hope you enjoy as much as I do. So now all of the invitations to barbecue Frankensteins has been sent over. And basically, well, instead of just stopping the conveyor belt, I'm just going to make them go this way because, well, since this is a one-way route, well, why wouldn't we do that? Oh, and don't forget to do this, by the way, because, well, sooner or later, you're gonna be at the lower right, and if the machine isn't shut down, well, good luck trying to go through. You'll hate yourself a lot. But in the meantime, we shouldn't hate ourselves a lot, and we're just going to enjoy this castle. One of the things that I enjoy about this castle is pretty much the absence of recurring puzzles. Whereas Romania was nothing but recurring puzzles, Baskerville was many recurring puzzles that you had to play over and over again, which eventually got boring beyond all belief. But then you finally have a castle like this that stops all of the you have to go back to this room a million of times to be able to accomplish everything. And oh yeah, I really like this one trapdoor. I have no clue why it's there, but yeah, there's close to no recurring puzzles into this level, and this is why I like it. And don't slide down here because, well, you'll notice that if we will have slid down, there will be no way for us to get to the force field in time. So this is why we gotta take a new approach. So yeah, right now I'm just being too silent because I'm just enjoying the castle. I'm just gonna enjoy every single bit of this castle while I still can, because, well, right now this castle is fun. I forgot how a fun castle actually feels, and yeah, don't go up here if you value your life, even though you can still enter the room whenever you want as long as you don't move. But yeah, it's been such a long time since I played the Long Castle that I'm just so surprised. Although this room can be kinda tricky because this is one of the first times where the way a gun is placed and all of this can be deceptive. Don't try to climb up against a ladder or something because the gun is just going to outshoot you. But we can outshoot the feet of this guy. So yeah, basically the first step that we have to go through is to explore all of this castle and make our way to new rooms that we're gonna solve on our single visit through them, because for once this castle is being nice to us and is constantly offering us brand new things to do. They really are nice, for once. Yeah, for instance there, we just need to avoid all of this and grab this key. I really have no clue why they even put a key there, but whatever. That's just another thing for you to do, just to keep you entertained. So, just in case you couldn't get enough of ray gun, this room is for you. Whenever I was a kid, I was so terrified of this room, and, well, mainly because back then I couldn't even figure out what you were supposed to do here, but that was because I couldn't figure out how the guns into this game worked. Because we need to shut off all of the trapdoors, but obviously, if we teleport in, we're just going to die. So basically, you know that ray guns cannot fire more than one projectile at once, so this is exactly what we need to do. Yeah, we need to do a really daring run. This castle is all about mixing patience and action. This level do require many precision elements as well than being pretty fast on everything that you have to do, which is kind of a contrast from all of the levels that we've been playing lately. And this is also one of those castles where for once it wouldn't benefit much on having 2 players. Well, this room will benefit from having 2 players because you don't have to time yourself or anything, since the second player can control the guns whenever you need them, but most of the castle is really not that indicated for 2 players. And this last gun is really a bitch, however, because the gun is so far away from the teleporter, so this one's going to be a tight fit. Yeah. Just a little split second more and I will have been dead. I will have been dead by a cannon. You saw how close it was. This is probably one of the times into the game where it gets where this is as close as it gets, but there's another castle later where it's going to get even closer than that into one of the puzzles. The game's not messing around anymore. It stopped being nice a long time ago, but at least now it's offering variety as well and fun. For instance, now we have an advanced babysitting course. We just need to bring our favorite retard through all of these platforms and ladders so that we can eventually do something with him. Isn't that nice? For those of you who always wanted to be a virtual father, this room of the castle is for you. And you also need to have him take a little detour so that he can shut off the obstacles into his way, so that he can eventually go and find his ultimate play toy. Which is, provided that he finally stops having an unrequited love affair with the ladders. Why are they such freaks? Yeah. Your freakness has been punished by the little plaything which just decided to kill you. This is what frickin' around with ladders does to you, Frankenstein. You're a very bad monster. Yeah, this room right here, well, this is probably one of the rooms into the level which do require patience for a change, because we're going to come along into this room quite a bit of time, and you unfortunately cannot storm through this room. You just need a little bit of patience. Just wait for the gun to be high enough so that, well, you have enough time to fiddle around with those things so that they don't block your way and you don't end up being decapitated by the ray gun. Yeah, this castle really has everything. But so far, it's having fun rooms. How come is this level fun? It doesn't make any sense. It's strange, but it's true. I'm finally having fun playing this game. After the last few updates, I never would have thought that this would have been possible. And obviously the last few updates mean, of course, Romania and Baskerville. Whoops. Okay, this is obviously not where we need to go. But yeah, that's the first thing this castle has offered to us, which resembles a recurring puzzle. I'm just pleasantly surprised. I really wouldn't have thought that this would be possible, but it happened. Oh great, yeah, this is not even where I need to go as well. I'm just so excited that I keep going into the wrong doors over and over again. Oh boy, my poor character is having a whole case of insanity here. Or maybe he was just used to just do a million of backtracking around the level to such a point where the game will eventually get unbearable, like it has been till the last few levels. Well, I will apologize for the last few updates, but nah, fuck this. It's a guy who made the game who shall apologize for making the levels that boring and making it so that there's absolutely nothing I can do to make the updates any remotely funny or interesting, even though, well, it's been established a long time ago that the aim of this LP is not to be funny or anything. Well, it's mostly just to have a merry good time exploring a castle while pointing out some pretty stupid design decisions from a long time ago, but also saluting all of the good things it did as well. It's not a good thing to always condemn and say that everything is bad. Often, you also gotta consider the things that this game made, which are great. So yeah, we're pretty much almost done with exploring the castles, and well, this castle is once again not a very big one. There's like 15 rooms in total, but well, I'm not going to spill the beans yet. I'm pretty certain that you'll eventually figure out what we need to do whenever we'll finally have got to the last room. So in the meantime, we've solved the only thing into this castle which resembled a recurring puzzle so far. Oh boy, was that hard. And this is so nice to have a recurring puzzle which then made you go through half of a castle or the entire castle. This is just so great for a change. And there's just some little fun places into the level in all of this where you just have to go around and avoid a ray gun. All fun and games. All the funnest game that you've ever got around. And also you gotta make sure to press this button right here, and I was hoping that I would not get decapitated because I was just a daring idiot. So here we go. Yeah, this room kind of is filler compared to most of the things that we had to do. There's not really a whole lot clever going with it, but that's okay. One room out of 15, we can forgive it. I can forgive this castle almost everything. I say obviously enough, almost everything, because, well, you'll see. Alright, what could the last room of the castle be? Let's check it out. So here it is, the final room, and now, well, you've probably guessed that we're gonna have to backtrack through the whole maze of this, basically, yeah. Basically, why did I do that? In order to stupidly bet my life around by making it so that I almost got killed by having this thing here green here. Well, you will see later because, well, it's not really a recurring puzzle, but the thing is, we're gonna have to clear our way here because we're going to be back to this room later. And this is also one of the things that I enjoy about this castle. The way that the castle is just built because, well, basically there's a way forward into the castle and now there's a way backward. This is why I really like this castle in some way, because it's just so brilliantly made and, well, there's just a huge attention to detail about the way that it's being paved, but, well, pretty soon we're going to see why this castle is really bad. And also you're gonna make sure that this Frankenstein is not blocking your way because, well, you will see later. But if Frankensteins are stuck into a door whenever you'll be back into this room, the Frankenstein will still be stuck there, and will just mean that you're going to violently die, because the Frankenstein will just eat your brain whenever you'll enter the door. So yeah, we're approaching, sooner or later, the awesome denouement of this level. But yeah, this is why I said that you really need a lot of patience concerning this room. We're going to be back here quite a few times, and every single time you have to do that. Only that this time, we need to take the other door. Yeah, they even managed to make it so that you have to go through a prerequisite puzzle, only that you have to go through a different room. Yes, it's exactly how you say different. But still, you really gotta appreciate rooms like this. It's really clever, even though that, well, this is not a room that you're going to feel like doing all of the time, but well, I'll do this room many times instead of doing, well, you know, that one room where, we're going to keep talking later because this monster is just going to eat us. But yeah, I'd rather do the blue room with the gun that we've seen instead of, well, the room with the Frankenstein and all of this that you had to wait for an entire minute so that it will shut off the trapdoor for you. Oh, the memories. I really enjoy all of the things that we did into this one level. And yeah, I really have no clue why I'm being so stupidly daring, considering that, well, yeah, we're almost there. We're almost to the end of the level. Because it's now time to see in further detail the beginning room of the level. Yeah, here we go. Now we just need to... okay, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Now Doublecross begins properly. We need to shut off all of the 4 conveyor belts so that we can shut off all of the trapdoors leading to the yellow key. And once that we'll have done that, we're finally going to be able to get back here out of here. But yeah, how do we get back here? That's right. We need to go through this entire castle back and forth for like 6 times. And now everything is cleared, so it's not even like you have anything fun to do or anything. So congratulations, this is how you make a castle which was really enjoyable and turn it to shit in a split second. Why did they do this? This castle had so much potential, but they just completely obliterated it by only one swipe of the hand. Just like that. It really takes an expert marksmanship to expertly ruin such a castle in only like a second. Yeah, you have to go through this entire network of room all over again, and there's only rooms like this to provide a kind of secondary enjoyment, but it's not even like it's a recurring puzzle. You're just doing that so that eventually you're not gonna have to do the puzzle anymore. So, yep, that's Doublecross for real. And it's a bitch. It's just a horrible bitch. But yeah, since that you've seen how the castle is done, well, it's time to cut that out. Okay, we're back into this end of the castle, and well, we're just going to be able to be doing what we just did, except with another Frankenstein. Well, it's kind of hard to explain why I'm even doing this at this point, but on my next pass through this room, you're going to see why exactly I'm doing that. So in the meantime, we're just going to make our way back to the blue room. Hey, what do you know? We're finally back here after what seemed to be an eternity. So, yep, we've done that only 2 times, and we still have a shit-long load journey to go through. Isn't that the best idea ever for a castle? Having to go through mundane, repetitive backtracking through an entire castle back and forth 6 times. I applaud you. And with that, it's time to go back to the grey room at the other end of the level. And we are finally back into this place. And now I'll finally be able to showcase why I've even bothered to try and set it so that, well, I will just hit this little button right here. Yeah, because, well, in all of our future backtrackings through this room and all of this, you normally need to flip the switch and make it so that the Frankensteins eventually toggle all of the buttons all in condition, with the possibility that you're fucked over permanently because of the ways that all of the trapdoors are placed, but this way we don't have to press anything and we're assured of going through a room every single time. But guess what? We're never going to be back to this room. Why? Because I'm gonna stop the video, this is why. No, not at all, but yeah, you're going to see why, because, well, because there are pretty much two ways to beat Doublecross. The intended way, which is pretty much the worst way that you could ever approach the level ever, and well, there is the smart man way, which is completely unintentional. And how is it unintentional? Well, I'm here to show you why. But before I can start showing you that, we need to get back to the exit room so that I can finally explain what I'm even going with all of this. Alright, finally back to this room again. We're 30 minutes in and we're barely halfway done with this castle. Or at least we will barely be halfway out of this castle if it wasn't for a particular way. We're now gonna take this little door right here instead of, you know, taking the one that we've always took. You would expect we will just end up beside this other door into the other room, right? No, guess again. It doesn't make any single kind of sense, but you end up here instead. For some reason, this level is glitched and some of the doors don't go where they're supposed to, and well, this is a case for you. This door right here just makes you skip through more than half of the backtracking that you have to do in order to eventually be done with the level, but then you have to face other dangers instead. The biggest pain with going through the castle this way is that, well, you're gonna have to time the Frankensteins around some of the rooms perfectly if you want to go through, and this is where the level can start becoming a huge headache, because, well, if you go and fuck yourself up into timing the Frankensteins correctly, you're gonna set back a whole lot and you're gonna have to resume your circles all around the level. Your merry-go-round will never be at rest. And you still have to do this room, but at least you won't have to do it like 2 times on every single trip around the level that you normally need to do. So, hooray! But that's not the whole gist of the ways that we can use to spare time, or to spare time, because this is obviously what we're doing right here. It's into this very room. Yeah, notice how the door is leading to a blue room, even though the previous one was green. And yep, another door which is glitched. And instead, this one just leads to the exit. Once again, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I would understand why this door leads to the place where it does. I mean, maybe the author decided to put that door here in order to test this castle without having to undergo through all of the repetition. And in this case, it really makes me laugh, But the other door, I have absolutely no idea why it's even there and why it even leads to the exit door in particular. Why would you surface from the exit? But this is not everything, because, well, we're gonna learn to master a new trick if we wish to be able to succeed into beating the castle this way. Alright, it's now time to get ourselves a page from the Frankenstein survival book that we might have missed. Yeah, we need to time our exit through the room carefully so that, well, whenever we'll come back into the room, well, Frankenstein will have walked past the exit and hope that we live. So, yes, just barely. You really need to have incredibly good timing to do this, but provided that you can do this, you will never have to circle around the castle again, and basically we can pull off the same trick against this guy. Haha, see you, sucker. And here we go, this castle has got a whole lot easier out of a sudden, didn't it? It surely did, and well, I surely cannot blame the castle at all. So now we can get the key and we'll be done in no time instead of having to circle through the entire castle back and forth so many times. Yeah, when I played this castle legitimately for the first time, and I mean not excluding childhood and all this, because I never managed to beat this level as a child, but well, when I played this level again lately, I found the level so boring that I couldn't even finish it on a single playthrough. And yet, I managed to beat Baskerville in only one sitting, so that should speak for how much I hate the way the castle is meant to be played. But, well, all of those glitches into the level make the level bearable. So now, it's time to do a clean finish. Who am I kidding? It's not going to be clean at all, but hey, who cares? So close, but yet so far. Why are we back into this room? Well, you're probably wondering, why didn't I just decide to cheese the level right at the beginning? Well, the answer is simple. Because, well, I'm just going to pause the game just so I can explain, because, yeah, if we will have forgotten to shut off the conveyor belt, well, the Frankenstein will just be stuck into the door where I'm currently stepping, so, yeah. This is the reason why, if I would surface from this door and all of this, I would die upon entrance, so it's obligatory that you circle around the level one more time, but, well, I just wanted to showcase the level and whatnot, but right now, the only thing that we need to showcase is the exit of this level. And look how quick it is, we even were right next to the exit. This is how you exit the level, with style and with some pretty fences that certainly don't look like it was ripped off from the gate graphic at all. I wanted to put in cheat, but hey, whatever. I've done this level legitimately considering that, well, the hotter, I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know why the hard doors that are glitched, but whatever. This castle was so boring to play into the correct way that, well, I have absolutely no remorse in just cheesing the level entirely. Which is such a shame, because this castle had so much potential. If you didn't have to backtrack around wildly like a moron, this would have been my favorite castle in the entire game, but unfortunately, such things were never meant to happen. And finally, this is one of the only castles into the game which don't even profit from the two-player mode. But anyway, that's the end of Doublecross, and now it's time to let the music speak. See you at the next castle.